This is lesson 6, day 1 for complementary and supplementary angles. So our opening exercise as we begin our study of unknown angles. Let us review our key definitions. So the first thing is our first term is adjacent. So two angles, AOC and COB, with a common side of OC, are adjacent. Angles. If C is the interior of AOB. In other words, they share that common side. Next, when two lines intersect, any two non-adjacent angles formed by those lines are called vertical angles or vertical opposite angles. Sorry, I gotta learn how to spell. So the two terms here are vertical and vertical opposite. The next one, the only one I care about really is this first line, so I'm going to erase the second one or black it out. So two lines are perpendicular if they intersect in one point, and any of the angles formed by the intersection of the lines is 90 degrees. And it looks like this. And they form the 90 degree that way. So it's perpendicular. Next, we are going to complete the missing information in the table below. In the statement column, we're going to use the illustration to write an equation that demonstrates the angle relationship. And we're going to use all forms of angle notation in our equation. So also we are going to use the abbreviations. So adjacent angles, we have adjacent angles. So here the measurement of adjacent angles here, okay? So we have angle A, BAC is adjacent. We're going to change that, sorry. And angle CAD are adjacent angles. Next, we have vertical angles. So vertical angles here, we have angles DCF and angle GCE are vertical angles. Next, we have angles on a line. So we have, if the vertex of a ray lies on a line, but the ray is not contained in that line, then the sum of the measurements of the two angles formed is 180 degrees. So in this one, we have angle ABC plus angle CBD equals 180 degrees. Angles on a point that's our abbreviation. It says suppose three or more rays with the same vertex separate the plane into angles with disjointed interiors. Then the sum of all of the measurements of the angles is 360 degrees. So then angle BAC plus angle BAD plus angle DAC equals 360 degrees. So that is our review of our different angles. So now in exercise 1, it says in a complete sentence, describe the relevant angle relationships in the diagram. Write an equation for the angle relationship shown in the figure and solve for x. So we have here, now remember, we have a 90-degree angle, but what we're finding here is the angle here. So we're finding the angle here. Oh, sorry. Okay, and it goes all the way across, so it's more than that 90 degrees, okay? So we have angle X and angle 22 form angles on a line and add up to 180 degrees. So now we have X plus 22 equals 180 degrees. So now we're going to subtract 22 from both sides. So X is going to equal 158 degrees. So next we have our lesson that we want to get into for today. And it's going to be a very short lesson because the biggest thing that I want to show for us today is our definition and then one equation. So complementary angles are two angles added together to equal 90 degrees. Supplementary angles are two angles added together to equal 180 degrees. Now, the way that you can remember this is complementary starts with a C, and if I bring a line down, it makes a 9, and I add a 0, and it becomes 90. Supplementary starts with an S, and if I use one line, I can make an 8, and then add a 1 and a 0, and becomes 180 degrees. So the next thing I'm going to do is do example 1, and this is where we're going to end for the day. It says the measures of two supplementary angles are a ratio of 2 to 3. Find the measurements of the two angles. Well, when we have a ratio of 2 to 3, that means that we are going to add x's onto the 2 and the 3. So in other words, 2x is my first angle, plus 3x will be my second angle, and that's going to equal 180 degrees because it's supplementary. So now I'm going to solve for x. So 2x plus 3x is 5x equals 180. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So x is going to equal 36. But I'm not done. I have to find the measurements. So the first angle is 2x, or 2 times 36, which is 72 degrees. My second angle is 3x, or 3 times 36, which is 108 degrees. This ends our lesson for today.